So I wanted to make this video as a response to WildBillforAmerica's video Intelligent Atheists with a question mark. Let me go through some of these clips and respond to each clip individually.
As intellectuals, there is nothing intellectual about not believing in God. Atheism is nothing but rebellion powered by unholy pride.
Rebellion powered by unholy pride. That's absurd because, going back to, I guess, if people have seen it before, the debate between Sean Hannity and Christopher Hitchens, rebellion against a non-existent entity would be absurd because it's non-existent. What exactly are we trying to rebel against? Rebel against something we don't believe exists? That's just completely absurd.
Oh, they desperately try. Now, most atheists avoid science talk and rely instead the scriptures, which has been tested repeatedly for generations.
Okay, so scriptures, right?
Just like the scriptures say. I know this because of one, the reliability of the scriptures, which has been tested repeatedly for generations.
Reliability, so he's suggesting that the Bible is infallible, meaning that every word that is written in the Bible is completely factual, which obviously would not be true. And if it were true for the sake of Christians, I would say that it is an immoral thing to believe in the Bible because there are certain sects of the Bible that show God administering or commanding immoral acts. And for example, he says in scripture, so let's see, in terms of things like ethics, especially objectivism, objectivism deals with things with morals that can be considered universal. The main tenets of things like for objectivism, or at least even moderate objectivism, is the core morality, devised by Louis Poitras, a prominent ethicist, a Christian ethicist, but he makes sense with his core morality. One of them, well, obviously the first one would be do not kill innocent people, which is one of the main tenets of core morality, which pretty much makes up the main tenet of objective morality. Do not kill innocent people seems simple enough. Yet in the Bible, God commands to kill innocent people. He commands his followers to kill innocent people. For example, in Deuteronomy, he says, if your own full brother, your son or daughter, beloved wife, or your intimate friend entice you to secretly to serve other gods whom you and your fathers have not known, gods of any nations near at hand or far away, from one end of the earth to the other, do not yield to him or listen to him, nor look with pity upon him, to spare and shield him, but kill him. Your hand shall be the first to raise to slay him. The rest of the people shall join in with you, shall stone him to death, because he sought to lead you astray from the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, that place of slavery. And all Israel, hearing of this, shall fear and never do such evil as this in your midst. So God is practically commanding his followers to kill innocent people who are guilty of no other crime than, I guess, what you would call apostasy, which is what Christians accuse Muslims of doing. They'll say that Islamists, people that follow Sharia law, would kill certain people for committing apostasy, abandoning the religion of their father. And essentially, that's what God's commanding to do as well. Let's see. Another one of the tenets of core morality is do not deprive another of his or her freedom. Yet in the Bible, he says, God himself says in Leviticus, however, you may purchase male or female slaves from among the foreigners who live among you. You may also purchase the children of such resident foreigners, including those who have been born in your land. You may treat them as your property, passing them on to your children as a permanent inheritance. You may treat your slaves like this, but the people of Israel, your relatives, must never be treated this way. Leviticus 25:44-46. And the first passage was from Deuteronomy 13:7-12. Now again, do not deprive a person of his or her freedom. And essentially, this is what God is commanding in Leviticus. So already two main tenets of core morality that God has violated. You're going to tell me you believe in scripture, you believe in the infallibility of the Bible, yet when I see that this God that everyone supposedly says is all loving, is a merciful God, is committing moral acts, there's going to be an issue. It's in a sense, it's fallacious. God is not all loving. He's not a merciful God. He's commanding death and he's commanding slavery. I don't understand the logic behind Christians by saying that their God is an all-loving, merciful God, because he's not.
My own knowledge of the Creator and the PhD level scientists who by their own education and research have determined that the Bible story best fits the evidence that we have. Oh yes, that is the dirty little secret that atheists try to hide.
Well, again, if you're trying to prove the infallibility of the Bible, and essentially if I were to say if the Bible is infallible, that means God, the Christian Abrahamic God, is also existent, then I would have to agree with Christopher Hitchens. I would want to be an antitheist because I would think it is rather unfortunate that that sort of God exists. A God that's commanding slavery, a God that's commanding murder, a God that essentially is an immoral God. it would make him anthropomorphic. He's acting just like a human, no different than Zeus, no different than Hades, no different than Apollo, Thor, Odin. It's absurd because this God has human feelings, human emotions, human desires, human sociopathic tendencies. So essentially, I'm trying to understand where Christians are coming from by saying all these particular
There are
things about their
thousands of
God.
high-level scientists who. Now, these are just a few of the respected scientists who acknowledge that the just no longer be a part of.
But he said something about Raymond Damadian. Yeah, Raymond Damadian is not so much a scientist as he's a medical practitioner, and it is. I've seen and read that it is known that a majority, well, not necessarily just a majority, but I'm guessing about 50 to 60% of medical practitioners do believe in a God. So essentially, they're not really scientists. If you're going by scientists, over 80 to 90% of them don't believe in a higher power. You know, he's listing a man that practices medicine, and it is known that practitioners of medicine do believe in God. A number of them, a majority of them, more so than scientists.
The evolution, your knowledge and intelligence prevents you from believing the Bible story, and I will continue to chuckle, just like a kid standing in front of a monkey cage at the zoo.
Well, essentially, from what I'm hearing, is this guy is a kid. There's no rationale. It's all faith-based reasoning. It's just funny. I'm sorry. This is gonna be my bitter response to this.